Alright team, we're hopping straight into this one, but before we get started, there are 40% of you who are still watching my videos who ain't subscribed. It's like you don't want to be part of the AA gang, so make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell every time I upload a video, because I'm going to tell you how you can get shredded and get abs, whether it's for the first time or whether you've already been training for a while and you'd like to get some more ab definition. But I'm going to go over my current physique, and then later on in the video we're going to hop into that information about how you can get abs and get more developed abs. So at the moment, body weight is currently around 82 kilograms. And if you want to check out my previous transformation, how my physique has changed over time, then check out the video in the YouTube card on the screen, and you'll be able to see how a good example of body recomposition. So about how I can be leaner at a heavier weight across the years of doing consistent training. So here at 82 kilos, a few months ago when I was around the 82 kilo mark or 80 kilos, I definitely was a little bit high body fat percentage, but because of upping calories and then slightly lower than upping calories again, I'm now at definitely a leaner point at 82 kilos. And currently with training, I'm doing those 6 days a week, usually a strength session and then a conditioning session in the morning, which consists of about 40 minutes, and the weight session is usually either across 1 or 2 sessions and can be about 2 hours in total. And then if I have some time, I do some snatch work, Olympic lifting work, and I find that's working really well for me because I'm focused on, I love physique and stuff, but I really want to try and do well in CrossFit now. So my training's obviously focused towards performance stuff, but I'm still enjoying incorporating bodybuilding. I still think that's very necessary to do alongside CrossFit, so you can build up your muscle tissue, so you can protect your joints and have stronger bones, bone health, and it prevents osteoarthritis. Weight training is insane. But if you do have any specific questions about physique and stuff, how my physique has changed, or about your certain situation, then please do leave me a YouTube comment in the comment section below, or just let me know how your training's going, or you can get in touch with me on Instagram, because I do like how everybody's body compositions are slightly different and people respond differently to training in different ways. So yeah, it's really cool. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh yes, controversial question. Do you think I should get TikTok? I've been recommended to. Main question is, am I upside down? Or is the umbrella upside down? Ooh. In this part of the video, I'm going to talk you through how you can get abs, whether it's for the first time or if you want to develop your abdominal muscles so you can start seeing them in a more defined way. I'm going to talk you through how to get abs with this type of physique, somebody who is a healthy weight, doesn't have much muscle mass and still has quite a lot of adipose tissue that they can grab. And I'm also going to explain from this type of physique, somebody who has a higher body weight, a little bit more adipose tissue, hasn't done much weight training, but the information I'm going to be giving to you is also applicable to those of you who've done weight training for a while. So listen up. Take this girl or guy, for example, who's a healthy weight on the BMI scale. I personally don't like the BMI scale. They haven't done much weight training at all, or they've done a little bit. They don't have much muscle mass, and they've got a little bit of adipose fat. That they can still grab. They want to change up their physique. They've lost a bit of weight, but they're wondering why they still can't see the definition they're aspiring for, and that's because they haven't done much weight training, and they need to start incorporating it. I'm going to go over nutrition, diet, exercises you need to do, and other tips. So for this type of person first, in regards to training, they need to get into a consistent routine. I recommend clients to always start with 3 times a week, even if it's just 30 minutes for a weight training routine. Ideally, on top of that, they are still active throughout the day, at least getting 30 minutes of cardiovascular activity at least 6 days of the week. But it might be somebody who really struggles with exercise, so we might just have to start with the cardiovascular exercise and then introduce the weight training. I always recommend clients to do 3 times a week, nail it, for 30 minutes a day, and then build from there. I much rather then do that, then rather than just do it twice a week and do a longer session. Eventually, the aim for anybody is to try, in my opinion, to try and do a little bit 6 days a week for a shorter session rather than 3 days a week with just doing longer sessions. I prefer the higher frequency, just so you're hitting your muscle groups more frequently, so therefore you get more response. So the resistance training, 3 days a week if we're really specifically looking at abdominal exercises. But remember, I recommend clients to be obviously training all muscle groups, including legs like squats and chest like bench press or press ups if we're at home at the moment. But if we're just talking abdominal exercises, I recommend people to pick 3 different exercises. One for the rectus abdominis, one that's a bit more targeted for lower abs, although it's very hard to target your lower abs, but I do have some exercises I prefer for lower abs, and then an oblique exercise. So that could be like a leg raise, a lying leg raise, and then for the lower abs, a seated stiff leg lift, which I'll put on the screen for you, and then the obliques could be a side plank crunch. 3 sets of each, 15 repetitions, so 9 sets in total, 3 days of the week. Then for this person, they usually have had a deficit of calories, for quite a big deficit for a period of time. So they need to recomp their body, get their calories back up to a point of maintenance. So I'd recommend this person to do a couple of days in their diet, track their calories and the food intake, and then we can work out the calories that they've been on. Then get their maintenance calories by asking them their daily activity or what they're going to be doing, their height, weight, etc. Then when we find their maintenance weight, slowly build calories back in to get up to their maintenance. So it might be like 200 calories per week. And then once we found that maintenance calories, then we'll actually stay there for quite a long period of time, get consistent with the resistance training, keep adding in a little bit more, and then, as I said, the body recomposition will happen. And then usually after a few months, or even actually sooner in some cases, then abdominal definition starts to come through because muscle mass is being built. And then after we get to that point of where we're getting some good visible ab definition, not that it's all about that, but I'm talking about abs in this video, then we review what the person's goals are, if they want to bulk up in weight, or if they want to get a little bit leaner, lose a bit of body fat percentage, depending on what stage of training they're at. When it's usually at the start of training in years wise, then I'd like to stay trying to just gain muscle mass to start with, rather than just get shredded really quickly, because there isn't much muscle mass on their frame. Main thing as well with the diet, macronutrient wise, getting at least 0.8 of a gram to a gram of protein per pound of their body weight, ideally a gram, just so you know you're hitting that gram, rather than being like, I might have hit 0.8 of a gram. I'd rather get to that gram per pound of body weight, so you know that you are supporting your body with your training, and then getting at least 5 portions of fruit and veg a day to get your micronutrients, and then getting lots of fluids, water in you, so you're getting your vitamins and minerals as well for the day, and then having complex carbohydrates, lean protein sources 70 to 80% of the time, and then as well as the fruits and vegetables, and then 20 to 30% of the time making sure you let yourself have a little treat. That's the main tip I'll give for that type of body type. For this body type, a lot of it is very similar, but because you're at a stage of where you probably have a higher body fat percentage that you need to lose, then the approach to nutrition is slightly different. So usually this person has been in a surplus of calories for quite a long period, and if they haven't done much training, then the first thing again I would introduce is the weight training first, the 3 times a week alongside the cardiovascular activity. But we might have to do the cardiovascular activity first because they haven't been used to incorporating exercise. If it's quite overwhelming having all these changes, I start with the exercise, and then after that introduce working out nutrition and calories. So the first thing to do would be to work out the person's maintenance at the current body weight they are at, and then also review the body weight or the body fat percentage, the body fat percentage they want to get down to. Once you've worked out the person's maintenance, and I should add, we do the food diary as well to look at their current intake to see how many calories they're having, and it could be quite a surplus. Then I would put the calories at their maintenance, and usually people want to go to 2,000 or below to start with. But if somebody's a heavier body weight, then they will be burning more calories an hour. I know that seems a little bit weird because they're overweight, but it's just because there's more mass on them. So usually we start the diet for somebody like that could be about 2,800 calories, depending on if it's a man or a woman, or what their lifestyle choices are and what their activity levels are. Just because you don't want to drop calories too quickly, because then you have nowhere to go in the long run, and you need to make sure that you still are supporting your training and you target body fat loss rather than just trying to lose a load of body fat and muscle mass. And when you're in a negative amount of calories, like a big deficit for a long period of time and you stay down there without doing any refeed days, then you will eventually reach this point of starvation mode, which is an explanation for another video, but it's where the body holds on to what it has and holds on to body fat to be able to just perform daily functions. And so the endocrine system, where the hormones are produced from, can work just because you're in such a negative amount of calories. So we start at maintenance, see what their body weight does, and then when we find their calories where they maintain their body weight, and that means after a week you might have to slightly increase calories, we might have to slightly drop calories a little bit. I want to find the point where their body weight is maintained. Then we just slightly reduce calories from there by about 200 calories to start with, and then by that point we usually do every couple of weeks 50 calories ish, and then because sometimes that can make a heck of a load of difference, because 50 calories a day across a week is still 350 calories. That can actually make a massive difference. We start doing that. Then to start with, they might lose a few pounds in the first week, a few pounds the second week, and then they might hit a plateau. We start introducing refeed days semi-frequently, about every couple of weeks, and then as they get down to the diet, maybe more frequently. Then we start doing more frequently, the refeed days every week, maybe on the Sunday, depending on what their weigh-ins are. Again, doing the weight training exercise alongside it. Same approach with the ab exercises, 9 sets of the 3 different exercises. When we get to a point where they're at a body fat percentage of about between 12 and 15%, then we review their current goals, see if they want to try and start bulking up again because they're still new to training, and see if they or if they still want to go down a little bit more before they start bulking up. But again, always trying to stay in a try to build up muscle mass in the early stages so you can get the most out of your training is optimal, in my opinion. But the priority for them would be to lose the weight first and lose the body fat percentage to get to a healthy weight, and then start building up from there. But with the weight training for both types of physiques, the body is going to have to respond because it's not used to doing the weight training exercises, and then so you will experience body recomposition by the loss of fat and the gain of lean muscle mass. Main tip I can give for both body types is that you need to give every little change you do to your diet and your training time, because I know a lot of people who sometimes drop their calories and for a couple of weeks they do it and they're like, it's not working, so they just drop it again, and then they change up their exercise routine. You will see an immediate change, but with such a society of instant gratification, you need to give things time to work, and I guarantee you that you will get better results if you're patient and then you review how your body is changing and how the exercise are affecting your body, just because you need to give it a few weeks for something to see if it actually works. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about that, then please let me know. Message me on Instagram. My Instagram's in the YouTube description. If you're interested in online coaching, my email's in the YouTube description as well. You just need to say, I'm interested, then I can send you the details for that. I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video. Peace.